Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Wednesday Wisdom. My name is JB Hilliard and these are, I'd say weekly, usually weekly video snippets of information designed to answer questions you may have about estate planning or the probate process or other legal concerns you may have. And this week, these are really my concerns for you as a continuation from last week's Wednesday Wisdom, or last time when we talked about the proper etiquette when you're involved or have to appear for virtual court hearings or virtual court proceedings. And so just in the last week, I saw some more stuff that I thought was completely bizarre and unreal. So I wanted to share some of those with you. And the title gives away the main one, which I wanted to save the best for last, but I couldn't help but, make it the title of this week's video. And that is, please. Yes, I actually saw this, ladies and gentlemen, with my own eyes. Do not appear for your court proceeding, even if it's virtual. Do not appear for your court proceeding, even if you're in your bedroom. Do not appear for your court proceeding in a bathrobe or in your pajamas. I saw on two different days. Two different individuals. One was in her bathrobe and one was in a pajama top. That is so inappropriate. Even though these are virtual online proceedings, even though you may be in the comfort of your own home, and even though the judge may say this on the day of, you should know that you should still dress as if you're appearing in person to court. So it may not necessarily mean you have to go get a new suit and a tie and get all dolled up like that, but at least business casual, something you're going to wear out in public in a public proceeding. Please don't wear a bathrobe in your pajamas to court, virtual or otherwise. Please don't do that. Dress appropriately. Okay, I got that one out of the way, but I could not believe my eyes when I saw this. And the person was sitting on the side of the bed. We talked about not sitting on your bed last week. Okay, moving on. One other form of etiquette you should keep in mind is not to interrupt the judge while he or she is talking, particularly when they're giving their introductory remarks. They're trying to give you the overall procedural aspect of what to expect and giving you instructions. A lot of people I've been observing that they think because this is a virtual setting that it's a little less relaxed. And so they try to make it a conversation of back and forth, and it's not. It is a formal court proceeding. They just happen to be using a virtual tool to provide access for you versus everyone showing up to court in person. Do not interrupt the judge, even if you're disagreeing, especially when they're giving their order. They're giving the final judgment for the case, for your case. Don't interrupt them and try to give more testimony. That time has passed. So you got to pay attention to what the judge is saying and not interrupt when he or she is talking. And that paying attention leads me to the next thing. Pay attention to what the judge is saying. I've seen some people who are dialing in or logging in while they're at work, of course. And as I mentioned last time, court is open during the business day, banker's hours. So you may be very well at work as well. But you don't want to be multitasking and trying to do so many different things and make it appear to the judge that you're not paying attention. That rubs some judges the wrong way. It should rub them all the wrong way, especially when they're talking and giving instruction to you. So they don't have to keep repeating themselves because people were not paying attention or not looking at the camera or not just sitting still. So make sure you're looking at the camera, your camera's on so the judge can see you, you can see the judge, and that the judges don't think that you're, not really listening to them, because that's not a good thing. And you want to keep the judge on your side. And also be on time for your what's called a calendar call or the docket call. So at the very beginning, at least what I've been observing, is the judges will call off their cases one by one and ask if the plaintiff is there, the person that's bringing the suit or bringing the claim, or the matter, and then the defendant or the person responding to that. Some judges have been very gracious in giving people time to get logged in and work out their technical difficulties. But you should, try to get that taken care of beforehand, before the actual start time that you've been given for your proceeding announcement or notice. So make sure that you are on time. I've seen some judges go around just one time, and if you don't respond quick enough, they skip right over you and don't come back. But like I said, most have been gracious enough to circle back around at least a second time, if not a third time. But they're not required to do that. Just know that if your calendar, or if your hearing time was 9 o'clock and at 9:05 they've circled around and you didn't respond quick enough, or you weren't logged in, or you were on mute and didn't realize you were on mute, or don't know how to use the tools, that's on you. They called out, you didn't answer, they've moved on. They're not necessarily required to go back around. So keep that in mind. You may have a nice judge, or you may have a judge who has a lot going on and they don't have time for all of that. And then the other thing I saw, one last thing is, I mentioned last week to get to a quiet place. And so I saw a couple of individuals that seemingly were in a quiet place. They were in their home, obviously, based on the background. They were on a couch. And then toward the end, when the judge was giving some final remarks, there was the TV just blasting. And once they took themselves off mute, you could hear just the loudest TV known to man. Why is your TV on? You are in court. You don't take a TV into court, so why is your TV on? Turn off all the background noise, the TVs, radios, or whatever other devices you have going on. Those should not be on while you're in a court proceeding. Okay, I'm done for this week. I may have some more for you next week, who knows? But in the meantime, as always, I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.